nothing else. Tonight ain't the night, knowing the price. Pay it off with my life, till it's out with your lights. Do it all for the Christ, and he ain't playing nice. Knew the end from the start. Fix your face like it's art. The sons of a simp, call him Bart. Yeah, you did your best, played your part. But now it's time to cut you to the heart. Flex on occasion. It's the strangeness of the salvation. You see it, believe it, amazing. Them chariots coming invasion since the creation. War, mine, Lord, bless the general. Greatest nation, eat them unequivocal. Bombs dropping, buddy, cause it's biblical. Start shit, now it's time to finish. Whoa. Said he won't vote, we looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
I can't wait for our kingdom to start and for there to be finished. Get rid of all of their idols and lying religions. Look for the crown like an Edris. Hey, this that crown talk. Wisdom of Solomon 5 talk. This that second Edris 6 and 9. We want eyes talk. It's your time to end and my time again. It's our time to win. Away with the sin. You know what it is. Rejoice with my kin. See that is why we repented. Go to the streets, I can see myself in it. The city is bright, the kingdom of light. A wonderful sight past the angels, the inner light. I need 1,000 years of labor. Sit on my throne with my savior. Try to know wine, press alone. He bring pain like major. You think the nations is equal to us? TK Kirkland, who raised you? Flex on occasion, my God a racist. That's why we moving with patience. It's been a long time coming. I spent my whole life running. Now that I'm 10 toes down and established my faith on 100. Woe to the nations, my king will race them. You know they gotta be punished. Jeremiah 25. Yeah, you know they gon' fry. Whoa. Said he won't vote, we looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
Let me love you. Yes, sir.
Let's go. Hey, let's go. All right. Hey, there you go. We get some applause going. Hey, shalom, family. Most High Christ bless. I pray y'all had an excellent Sabbath and a great weekend. We back, the Nehemiah Squad. We're going to reintroduce ourselves. I am Captain Zaccai.
Yo, it's Officer Shem.
Officer Judah.
All right. Hey, been a lot going on across the United States of America, right? And tonight's guest is the former mayor of Antioch here in California. So for those of you who are not in California that don't understand, Antioch is in the Bay Area, right? And it's one of the cities, right? Before we bring our guest on, play video number 1, because I like this kind of stuff. Y'all gonna love this right here. This is our kind of guy. This is our kind of guy. Play that first video.
Now to the major scandal circulating within the Antioch Police Department. Our media partners at the Bay Area News Group have obtained some alleged racist messages among some of the department's officers. The explosive issue came front and center at tonight's
Hit pause for a second, right? So this happened in Antioch, right? So the police, they had racist messages going back and forth about black people, Hispanic people, so on and so forth, the black and brown community, you know, like normal, right? And now they're talking about it. Hit play.
Council meeting where at least 2 people had to be escorted out after exchanging words with the city's mayor. ABC 7 News reporter J.R. Stone was there and has more.
That is, you want to go outside right now? Let's go.
Yeah.
I am sick and tired of being attacked by these people in this community, apologizing for the racism that is going on in this community. You're the problem. You're the problem.
Tense moments between Antioch Mayor Lamar Thorpe and a community member.
That's
in
it.
A special meeting where residents.
Hit pause, y'all. We're going to bring out the former mayor of Antioch after something like this.
Yeah, we like him.
Yeah, this is our type of guy.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Mr. Mayor, where are you? We still going to call you Mr. Mayor. Where are you? There you go. How you doing, Mayor Thorpe? How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Okay, okay.
All praise.
All right, it's good to meet you, man. It's good to meet you. You know, I see you were fired up there, and there was a lot going on. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that, but I want to talk about your, so to speak, your origin story, right? Because it's very intriguing. You know, please let us know who you are. Let the audience know who you are, how you got into politics, but start from the beginning, because your story is you got an amazing story.
Well, thank you for having me, and yeah, it's been an interesting journey. My actual last name is Lamar Hernandez Thorpe.
That's right.
Hernandez I added last year after my father, who raised me, passed away. And so my dad and my mom immigrated to this country from Mexico. And so I wanted to honor them by adding my last name to their last name to my name, because they didn't have the opportunity to adopt me when I was a child.
Right.
And because my biological mother never gave up her legal custodial rights to me, to them. And so everything I am in life, everything I've stood for, the fire in my belly to champion causes that are important, it all comes from them. And so I wanted to make sure that I honored them. And so I think what you're referring to is that back in 1981, when I was born, I was actually born in a women's correctional facility in Los Angeles. And
Right.
2 days after, I was placed in foster care and raised by a family who immigrated here from Mexico. And it's been an interesting journey. In 5th grade, they placed me in special education.
Right.
And by the time I graduated high school, I couldn't really read and write. And so
hold
joined
on.
the Navy.
Mayor, hold on. Don't go too quickly, because that's very interesting. We just wanted to put up this picture. So this is the picture of Mayor Hernandez Thorpe, all right, and his family, okay? So this is who raised him, all right? And what I wanted to key in on, because it might have slipped past people, was the fact that you were illiterate, didn't know how to read or write
Right.
by the time you got out of high school, due to the fact of that Spanish was your first language, actually.
I think it was a combination of Spanish being my first language, a combination of being a black kid in East Los Angeles who wasn't completely understanding what was happening in terms of, you know, being the one black kid in this little school,
right,
or in my community. And then, you know, so I had to do with a lot of things and then, you know, there's a black kid in East LA who likes to make people laugh, and, you know, teachers didn't know what to do with this kid. And so what do they do is they put kids like me in special education and kind of lock them away in the bungalows.
Right. And so you said you were born in prison. That's sort of like what we hear about with Tupac. It was sort of that kind of a situation. Were you born in prison? And so what was your mom? What was going on with mom at the time and your family at that time?
Oh, my mom was she unfortunately was a heroin addict most of her life, most of her adult life in particular. And so she was in and out of prison. Unfortunately, you know, she experienced a lot as a child, having been molested by her stepfather and growing up poor and whatnot in a very violent community. And so life just happened to her. It's not necessarily what happened, what she did. It was life happened to her.
Right.
And so that's, it just trickles over, turns generational. But, you know, when you become aware of these types of situations, when you become self-aware, you obviously work your best to try to break those generational curses.
Right. Absolutely. And so once you got out of high school, you then went into the service. You went into the Navy, and talk to us about that. Your progression.
I actually went to community college, but I don't want to say, well, I couldn't read and write.
Right.
So
that's crazy.
I left junior college with all F's, and so
man.
You can't drop out of junior college, but I somehow dropped out of junior college.
Right.
And so I enlisted in the United States Navy, and, you know, believe it or not, nobody knew I couldn't read and write, including my parents. So when I joined the Navy, I told everyone in my community and my neighborhood and my family that, hey, I'm joining the Navy because I want to be in politics, and presidents join the Navy. And so historically, there have been quite a few presidents who were in the Navy. And so it just made sense to everybody, but it was all of us. It was all bullshit because I couldn't read and write and nobody knew. And so I joined the Navy. I took the ASVAB test. I scored a 31, which is the lowest. It's lower than lower.
Right.
So I didn't qualify for any jobs. I had to chip paint, chip rust, and by the grace of God, somehow I went from chipping rust to becoming a paralegal, which is the most writing intense job you can find in the Navy.
Right.
And working my way through there. So eventually I taught myself how to read and write. And so I owe a lot to the United States Navy for taking some kid from under a rock and making him into something.
Right. Wow. And then so how much time did you spend in the Navy? Did you just do the requisite 4, or did you do longer?
Well, I did 5 because I had an extra year because I became a paralegal.
Okay.
And so they said, if we're going to pay for you to go to this to legal men's school is what they call it, then you have to add an extra year. And then by the time I got to my second duty station after I came back from overseas, I was stationed in Connecticut. And I started going to night school at the local community college. And from there, I transferred and got out of active duty and went to one of the most prestigious universities in our country. And that's the George Washington University. That's
right.
In D.C. Yeah. And so I was there. So I did 5 active duty, and then I did 3 in the reserves for a total of 8 years in the Navy.
Okay. All right. And then once you came out of school, what did you go into at that point before getting into politics? How did that whole thing come about?
Well, I can't get into any of that because there's an important part of the story that I think if you miss it, none of the politics makes sense, and and it adds more context to what you saw in that video.
Okay.
I hated Black people. And I did not like myself. I didn't like looking at myself in the mirror. I hated my Black skin. I hated Black people, and I particularly had a disdain for Black women.
Wow.
Which was ironic because I was only attracted to Black women, and here I was hating Black women.
Oh, this is interesting.
And so,
all right.
Yeah, and so when I joined the Navy, it was the first time I'd been around Black people, and Black women were very embracing of me and kind of almost felt sorry for me. Like, we got to help this poor guy out. He doesn't know how to comb his hair. He doesn't know about razor bumps. He doesn't know about anything. He doesn't know about Black culture.
Right.
And Black men were more hostile towards me because of that. And so by the time when I was in my second tour of duty in Connecticut, I actually had the opportunity of meeting my biological family. Found me, and literally one weekend I drove down to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I met my biological sister, who was 5 years older than me, who remembered meeting me as an infant when I was placed in foster care. I met her son, who's also named Lamar Thorpe. She named him after me because she always had a loss for her brother. And then I met my biological father, aunts and uncles, and then we all made the trip up to go visit my mom in a prison, Cambridge Springs Correctional Facility, and she was locked away with the Wave Sisters from Philadelphia. So I've actually met them. But so it wasn't until that moment where things kind of became more crystallized and clear for who I was. And I started embracing my Blackness and started understanding like where this hate was coming from. Wow. So I was actually majoring in political science, but I changed my major to sociology. And by the time I got to George Washington, I took this Intro to Women's Studies course as a joke. Thought it would be an easy A, listening to a whole bunch of women talk about how much they hate men. But it was the most transformational course I'd ever taken, and I ended up getting my degrees in women's studies. So my graduate work is in women's studies, and most of my focus had to do with my biological mom's incarceration and leading to it, and the conditions of women in prison and whatnot. Right. And so what you saw in that video was just a lifetime of what I know they did to me to make me hate myself and hate my people.
Wow.
And so it wasn't just out of the blue that that I reacted that way. It was just, when white people show up and tell you, no, you're the problem, and we're talking about racism, I just had it. I said,
yeah, right.
Who are you people talking to?
Right. Absolutely. And what you just brought up about hating yourself, and that's not something foreign to our people. From different walks of life. A lot of our people hate themselves, and that's why we have a lot of crime. The drug dealing, the murdering, that's all self-hate. And so with us in our congregation, that's why we always try to teach our nationality, who we are as a people, who we were before. And we're going to show you some stuff like, in the Middle Ages, because a lot of people believe, they just came out of slavery, and then they got some names and now they're running around civilized, when that was not the case. And as we build up the youngsters and ourselves as well, even as grown-ups, and we find out these wonderful facts and history, it builds you, and it makes you know that you're much more than that, And then, so how did you get to the point of saying, okay, I'm going to actually run for an office now? How did that come in? Because generally you see like a mayor or somebody is like a law student, and then but you were close to it because you were paralegal,
Well, my intention was to go to law school, but after everything, once I started doing my work in women's studies and gender studies, I stuck that out. I stuck it out with that. Right. But I've actually been running for office since I was in middle school. So I was in elementary school, I was part of the student council. I was part of the high school student government. I was the vice president. And in college, I was the student body president. Even when I was in the Navy, when I was at the community college, I was the secretary of the student government. So running for political office and being involved in politics was nothing foreign to me.
Wow.
But I will say that I was a Republican up until that moment in Connecticut, where I met my biological family. And part of that had to do with self-hate. And so anything that would distance me from being Black, I would do. And being Republican was one of those things.
Right.
But my politics, as we understand it today, really comes from the women in my lives, whether it was my biological mother or my mom who raised me, who immigrated here from Mexico. That these two women's lives were connected by the carceral system, by being under the watchful eyes of the state, whether it was through foster care, whether it was incarceration, or whether it was through immigration.
Right.
And so I've just always found that all interesting, and so that's kind of shaped my politics, kind of shaped my understanding of the world. And so when I moved to Antioch, I knowing what little I did about the history of Antioch as being one of the original sundown towns in California and through the United States. And then the migrations of Black people moving there and some of the racial tension, I was like, this is the place to be.
Right. Let's go. Yeah. So that's interesting. So to me, it changes everything, right? Because you hated yourself at one time. Now you moved to Antioch, and I'll just jump and say, okay, you ran for mayor, became mayor. But you have to work for your people to a degree. It's not like and I know it's difficult, and that's kind of what we want to speak to you about tonight as well, right? Being a politician, African American, right, and the racism that surrounds politics, because that's what it is, right? How did you navigate that once getting into office and wanting to do things for your community per se, but you still got you can't just turn the eye to, turn a blind eye to, let's say, white people's problems, so to speak. You know what I mean? How did you balance that?
Well, I think so when I was on the city council before I got elected mayor, and when I was elected to the city council under the framework of respectability politics.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be racist, and I'd walk you through why you were a racist in a very nice way and explain to you how that wasn't right. And we all, most Black people, we do that. We are accommodating.
Yeah, terrible.
And I think I we all saw 2020. We all saw what happened to George Floyd, and I think that for as much as people don't like to believe that we evolved somewhat during that time, I do believe we did. And the part that I appreciate in which we've evolved is that I no longer have the responsibility to educate you about why you're an idiot,
right,
or why you're a racist. And when I feel like post George Floyd, we had a duty to explain to white people why their comments made me uncomfortable, or why they may not have understood why what they were saying or their actions could have played or could have, the outcome could have been discriminatory. Right. I no longer had that responsibility. Right. I gave that up in 2020. It wasn't my problem. And so when I got elected in 2020, I was very clear why people voted for me. Now, if 4 years later people didn't want to vote for me for that reason, that's fine. But I wasn't going to change in those 4 years to accommodate any political agenda or anything like that. I got elected in 2020 post George Floyd, and I knew the responsibility that I had, not just to Black people, but to all Americans, about reforming police, because it's been a broken system for certain groups, and it's not right. It's not fair. And so it was our responsibility to ensure that we built systems that work for everybody. Mm-hmm. And, you know, whether it's sociology or whether it's women's studies, whether it's whatever it may be, you learn very quickly that when you focus on the most marginalized, whether they're women of color, whether they're African Americans, whether they're Latinos, whatever marginal group we're discussing, it could be poor white people might be the marginal group of the day. When you start from that focal point, you help everybody in the long. And so for me, it was never a balancing act in terms of who needed to be. It was a focus on making sure that we took those who were at the margins or were experiencing the impact of something that wasn't right and focusing on that. While we're part of the impacted group as it relates to, you know, being African American men and having some of the worst interactions with police, the reality is that most police killings are of people who are experiencing a mental health crisis. So the top priority of my agenda as mayor was instituting one of the very few non-police community response teams that dealt with people who are having a mental health issue. Okay. And we're still to this day one of the only cities in the Bay Area and in California to have that.
Wow, yeah. That's heavy. Because I know back in New York, that was a thing. They couldn't do that. It's so vast. They don't have something like that to where, but that was spoken about. And I know a lot of the big cities talk about that, but they have yet to put it together. But so that's a huge thing.
No. I think Oakland's still twiddling their thumbs, and there are other cities who can't figure it out. But when you want to do something, you'll do it. It's not complicated. This stuff isn't complicated. If you want to do it, you'll do it. Right. If you want to play politics, you'll do what some of these politicians do and tell you everything and every reason why it can't happen, but it can't happen.
Right. You know what's heavy? We just had a show with Stephon Clark. I guess the guest didn't show up, but his brother was killed, and it was alleged that he was having a mental issue at the time. Right. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen that.
At the time, I was the vice president of the Greater Sacramento Urban League at the time.
Wow.
And so I was their vice president for communications. So I know Stephon Clark and it was
right.
Not only was it even the the trauma that people experience, including his brother himself.
Yeah.
You know, at the council, you know,
he was going crazy.
Yeah, absolutely
crazy.
Yeah.
And so, you know, but back in those days, they just criminalized people for that stuff.
Yeah. That's right. You know, moving forward with that, so now, right, you're no longer mayor, but I know you have your eyes on everything that's going on, right? So now throughout all these cities where the black mayors are, right, we having some issues now, right? Because Trump brought in the National Guard into D.C., right? I want to bring something up real quick. Hold on. Where is that thing? Bring up number 8. Bring up number 8, because supposedly now they were saying that crime was down in these other cities, right? And I know you with dealing with police reform in Antioch, right? And we have some people in the congregation that live in Antioch. So when they heard you were going to be on the show, there was like applause in here. We were like, "Oh, you know this guy?"
Right.
We're like, "Oh, you know." So we know that there was a little bit of. I've been out there just a couple of times, and I saw a little. Guys were hustling. I saw them. They were kind of out in the open with it, right? And but since I think there's like a little police. What was the name? It's hold on. I'm gonna get you to point that street. It's like a little
Sycamore.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
go.
what we was.
Sycamore.
Yep.
Right? You know exactly what it
I know
was.
about Sycamore.
Yeah. So Sycamore was always popping. So we would go right there. We would teach there, and it was always some stuff going on there. But now I heard there's like a little police station there, something like some type of police. I don't know if it's an actual station.
They have like a substation.
Right. So I didn't know. When I saw it, I said maybe you were responsible for that, or I don't know if that got instituted before you came in and then it happened. But I know I just went there like maybe last year, like the year before, and it wasn't there. So I don't know if that was something that you did.
So that was something that did start under me.
Okay.
There was we did a lot of heavy investing in community violence intervention programs. We got some money from the state under me, and then let's not forget that President Joe Biden at the time also invested a lot in community intervention programs. So he sent out a lot of money throughout cities throughout the country. So did Governor Gavin Newsom. So there's been a huge decrease in crime this year. And it's not all because, these random people got elected last November. It's because of the hard work that we've all been pushing in the last 4 years, including Governor Newsom. And in particular, for as much as people may not appreciate him, President Biden, because of the investments that came out of his administration in pushing community violence intervention programs. Those have been critical in reducing crime and getting people the resources that they need. And so it's not all by coincidence. Crime just didn't go down mysteriously. We've been working on this for the last 4 years.
Okay. All right. Excellent. So bring up that number 8, because I want to show you something. Right. So look at this. Are black mayors under attack across the U.S.? Some say it's a pattern. Now this article was last year in 2024, right? So it was already kicking off that they were saying that maybe some black mayors are under attack, right? We're not going to get into the whole thing right now in terms of that, but I just wanted to hear what you had. What do you think about that statement?
We black mayors are under attack the moment they get elected.
Wow.
And so the moment that we get elected, listen, there should be no shock that London Breed is no longer the mayor of San Francisco, that I'm not the mayor of Antioch.
Okay. Right.
It should be of no surprise that this past earlier this year, one of my colleagues, a former mayor now from St. Louis, Missouri, is black woman, no longer the mayor. The mayor of Chicago has been under attack since day one. The mayor before her, Lori Lightfoot, was under attack from day one. Black mayors are systematically being attacked, and we've been attacked the moment we get elected, and no one seems to respond. And this is where I do have a criticism of the Democratic Party. If I was Mayor John Smith, they would be sending in reinforcements yesterday.
Right.
But I'm Lamar Thorpe. And then it gets worse because I'm Mayor Lamar Hernandez Thorpe. And so there they are attacking me day in, day out. Actually, the reason I was invited to the White House, I don't know how many mayors of Antioch have ever been asked by Joe Biden to be part of their campaign or to be invited to the White House.
Okay.
But I was. The reason they recognized our work was because of police reform and what we did with all the ARPA money that Joe Biden gave us. And they were impressed by what we were doing with the money. But politically, they don't show up.
Yeah.
Like, you like us as allies to, put us out there and say, look, we have this and we have that, and look what they're doing things to us. But when it comes to saving off these attacks, where are they championing the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass? She is the most PC, and I don't mean PC as politically correct, but just calm. She is the most calming political figure that I know. When she was in Congress and in the short time we got to work together as mayors, She was one of the most calm people. Now every day she's on TV yelling and screaming, talking about, look what they're doing now, and they just keep getting under this lady's skin,
Right.
pushing her buttons.
Right.
And so she's been, they're blaming fires on her. Like she went and got a tank of gas and started lighting up the Palisades.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. But it's nothing new. What I think is a little different this time is that unlike black mayors of the past who kind of operated in a way where, like, you know what, we just got to get along with everybody.
Yeah.
The mayor of Chicago, someone who I know and respect, we just don't, I don't care about the respectability. I'm not here to make you feel good.
Right.
I'm not. And if whether you vote for me or not, these positions aren't, they don't define who I am. I showed up defined and I'm in this role. And so, you'll hear older black politicians say, I am a mayor who happens to be African American. No, I'm a black mayor. That's what I was a black mayor.
Bring it out.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring this up real quick. Number 13. Bring that up. I'm going to show you something, Mr. Mayor. You just had it up, guys. All right.
All the people I mentioned.
Exactly. That's why I brought it up. I said, man, you right on point. But go ahead. We're going to read something on that. Go ahead.
Mayors of Democratic cities beyond D.C. decried Trump's takeover threats.
Right. Scroll down a bit so we can get the names of all the brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
Mayor Karen Bass.
Hold on. Scroll back up so we can see the faces. And there you go. Right there.
Mayor Karen Bass.
Right. That's her all the way to the left. Right. L.A. Go ahead.
Brandon Johnson.
Right. He's the mayor of Chicago.
Barbara Lee.
Barbara Lee is the mayor of Oakland.
Brandon Scott.
Brandon Scott is the mayor of Baltimore.
And Eric Adams.
And good old Eric Adams, New York City.
Are responding to President Trump's suggestion that their cities, Los Angeles, Chicago, Oakland, Baltimore, and New York, may need federal intervention.
That is crazy.
Like what he is doing in Washington, D.C.
Right. And you can drop that for now, right? So all of those cities, right? Baltimore, New York, Oakland, Chicago, and I know I'm missing somebody, right? They all show a decrease in crime.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But yet, Trump said he has to bring in the National Guard. So now I saw another article, and I meant to bring it up, and I forgot to grab it. But it said they were accusing them of fudging the numbers and saying that really the crime was up, but they just said it was down.
Yep.
Right. Because of all of those mayors that you saw, they said they got together and planned it.
The sad reality is that we don't come up with the numbers. The FBI comes up with the numbers.
Right.
It's the FBI crime report.
Oh, that's good.
We have nothing to do with any number.
Okay, beautiful.
There is no number.
Right.
And generally in these cities, it's not like, the police departments or the police unions are big fans of black mayors to begin with. Right. So it's not like they're in cahoots with, fudging numbers.
Right.
It's just so odd to me. And then in years when crime was low, when I was mayor in my 4 years, the crime was lower than it had ever been. And yet that was the number one issue that people deliberately kept talking about to make it seem like crime was high.
Right.
Outside of smash and grab and things like that was on the news constantly and whatnot. Crime was low in San Francisco. Doesn't mean that they didn't have challenges with encampments, but you can't put everything all together under one umbrella and call it crime.
Right.
And the same, they did the same thing with Shangtao over in Oakland. And it's just so I'm telling you, it's the same playbook. It's never not the same playbook.
Right.
Right.
That's the move.
Blackface in charge, crime is the issue. That's
Right.
the strategy. Blame them for all the crime.
It's like
okay, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
what they kind of make it seem like the crime wasn't there before you guys got there. There's like a big mess there, and then you get there and try to fix it, and then it's like the same way they won't help you when it's time to defend you. They tie your hands when you're trying to fix things, and then blame it all on you.
Right.
Or when it's about fix, they snatch them out and put somebody else in there to make it look like they did it.
Yeah, right. Save the day.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the same pattern has been happening, minus in Oakland, but they'll demonize you, call you the problem. Yeah. You're the one who brought all the criminals and blah, blah, blah. And then they find some lukewarm, middle of the road nobody. Yeah. And that's and that's who replaces people who are actually doing things in these cities, whether it's San Francisco, whether it's Antioch, and I'm telling I think the sad reality, I think the next person to go is probably going to be our friend from Chicago.
Yeah.
But I got to give it to him. It doesn't matter how low his poll numbers goes. He doesn't give a hoot in the heck. He tells it like it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was going in. I was watching a couple of them. Yeah. He was giving it to everybody. He didn't care who was hearing it. He did not care. Hey, you brought up Sheng Tao, the former mayor of, I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly, of Oakland. Right. And they did the recall on her. And at one point they tried to do a recall on you as well. Right.
Oh, yes, they did. Yes,
I got a video. I got to show this little video because when I saw it, I was like, what? Yo, this was crazy. Hey, bro, I'm telling you, we couldn't do this. You know what I mean? We not into the politics. This is crazy what you got to go through. Hey, bring up number 3. Bring up number 3. And I know you remember this. You're already smiling, so you know what it is. Bring up number 3, y'all. Oh, man, this is crazy. Number three. There you go. So look at this. Look, she's trying to serve you and let you know that a recall is starting or something like that.
I don't know who you are. Get away from
You've been served.
I don't know. Yeah, look at this. I love this part.
Served.
I love this part.
Served.
He's like, no, I have not been served. Let me.
Damn.
Yeah, you can drop it. Oh, well, man.
Again.
Yeah. You gotta love it.
I'm sorry, but they would not do that to a white man.
Of course
they wouldn't do that to a white woman. They wouldn't do that. They and the gall of that lady. If you wanted to serve, there were so many other ways of doing it.
Exactly.
You didn't have to do it that way.
Right.
Chasing me to my car. It's like and then filming it as if you were going to get 100 million views on YouTube or something. Get out of here.
Right.
And the one thing that I have a low tolerance for. If you're not going to disrespect me or talk to me in which kind of way.
Right.
And I know I rub people the wrong way because there'd be people yelling at me on the middle of the street. Oh, man, I hope you lose the next election, or hey, you need to resign. And I'd be like, yo, mama. the position, and it's just that, I'm sorry, but 2020 was a changing point for me. I have no responsibility for your problem.
Right.
If you the problem, you the problem. I'm not responsible for you being the problem. And if you need me to remind you of that, I will certainly be happy to remind you of how you the problem.
Right.
And they'll tell us that racism don't exist, but then we see it, we feel it, we experience it.
Right.
And then when they tell us it don't exist, it's like they try to make us feel crazy. But in every industry, you know what I'm saying, where black people are not supposed to be. I'm talking about any industry that pays well, that pays enough for you to sustain a family. There's only a few black people there. These are the resilient ones that went through all the racism, so on and so forth, made it. And then when you get there, they tell you, oh, see, you made it. There's no racism. But then you held back from doing certain things. You know what I'm saying? Your hands are tied. When you do get the position, everybody is trying to knock you down from the position. So it's just it's crazy. It's like they're telling that our reality does not matter. What we're seeing and what's tangible, they're saying it's all in our imagination.
Wow.
But we're guilty of that too. Earlier, someone in the side, I forget which one of you mentioned something about in your church, you try to preach about
about nationality and
nationality and all that good stuff.
Right.
And then you reference, that's why we sometimes see all these killings and black on black crime. And
right.
And I want to point out that it shows up in different ways as well.
Right.
It shows up through, I'm not saying every Black conservative is a self-hater. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But I've met a lot of self-hating conservatives.
Right.
I've met a lot of self-righteous Black people who make it, who think that other Black people should act a certain particular way in order, that first video that you showed, there are some Black people like, oh, he's embarrassed all of us.
For standing up for yourself.
Right.
Well, what does it have to, what does it have to do with you? What do you mean embarrassed all of us?
Right.
Oh, well, that's, as Black people, you should know that if you act this way or that way, they may do this and they may, hey, I don't navigate my world trying to figure out who's doing what and who's doing what. I'm going to do what I need to do.
That's right.
And in that moment, that's what I felt I needed to do because I just was sick and tired of listening to all this racist nonsense. And in particular, I was just disgustingly offended by describing Black women as water buffalo.
Oh, wow. All that was going on? Wow.
What else did they call? Oh my God, water buffaloes. They would call Black women. There's 3 animals that they specifically use to describe Black. I was out of it. I said, what?
Man, yeah, that's crazy.
No. And so, no. But then there are Black people who would have been like, oh, no, well, that's just the way they are. No. There was a Black woman who came to that meeting and stood there and say, I don't know why you're all upset. We all are a little racist inside of us. I'm looking at this crazy Black woman. Are you insane?
Yes, she is insane.
Yeah, come on. Well, I mean, I would agree. Yes, not to that per se, but yes, I would agree that the system of racism is so deep, and white people just generally are racist.
Yeah,
because of how they've been, how they conquered the country, the whole nine. It's just. It's how they are.
They have the power to affect us too with their racism. We can be victims of racism and be mad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't like the people that don't like us.
Right.
But what is that going to do to them? Nothing. We don't own things to affect their living situation or their hiring or you know. So it's completely different. It's almost impossible for me to be racist in that sense.
Right.
Right. And then, individually, you may not see yourself you may not see yourself as a classist. You may not see yourself as a racist. You may not see yourself as a sexist. But to your point, these institutions and these structures in which we live under or how we operate in our daily lives effectively can make an action very racist or classist. And, when there are Black people that I talk to who have an issue with like Section 8. Oh, well, I moved out here because of this, that, and the third. And, and I didn't want to live over here, there, and everywhere. And now all these Section 8 people have moved in. It's like, what are you talking about?
Right.
And so it appears in so many different ways, but it's not just singularly racism. It's all these different isms. Mm-hmm. And yes, you can be guilty of perpetuating those isms without even realizing it, because we operate from these very structures. That's just the very nature of it.
And well, at the same time, right? Like, so what about the mayor in New Orleans?
Mayor Cantrell.
It's a bad look right now, right? It's a bad look right now. But that's what happens, right? We do see some of our people getting into these positions, right? And then they, like with her case, she had a bodyguard. She turns the bodyguard into her boyfriend. They're making sure that everywhere they go in their little wherever they are vaunt off to, you know what I'm saying? They're making sure they're getting money for their affair. Like, you know what I mean? It's real crazy. And so it's bad. Our people, and to me, I looked at it and you probably weren't like this, but from the outside looking in, I always looked at politics as something just like something to get money. Like, you position yourself in an area so you can be able to get what you want, right? Mm-hmm. That's how I looked at it, because I was never into actually becoming a politician or anything like that. I was never, even as a young man, when they would tell us to, get our voters registration card or whatever, I would never vote, right? And then after I got older and I started to understand the electoral college and everything, then I definitely didn't vote. I was done. I was like, okay, this is a whole Hollywood charade going on. It's a Hollywood show being put on, you know. But when we see things, and she's not the only one. Then you had what's the other lady from Atlanta, Fannie Willis? Was that Georgia?
Fannie Willis? Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Fannie Willis. It was like the same thing with her, and a lot of our people are getting caught doing that. And what I'm saying is that not that we're inherently bad. I'm just saying politics in general.
I don't think the question is a lot of our people are caught doing that. I think is why is it that it is so easy to sexualize African Americans that you would take instances that any other normal person would do and then try to blow it up because of past notions of our sexualities. And so they did that to me. They did that to the mayor of Sacramento, Kevin Johnson. And so the behavior. I never focus on that because who are we to judge? But more importantly, why is it such a fascination to just try to use sexuality as a way to always try to, for lack of a better word, hem up black leaders? And listen, Bill Clinton is Bill Clinton.
100%.
And Bill Clinton served for 8 years as president of the United States. But had Barack Obama done what he had done, they would have all lost their collective mind.
Right.
And so, the double standard that exists is right there. So I would never focus on you mean to tell me that in the deep South, like Atlanta, there hasn't been some district attorney who they've all just been 100%. Angels?
No. They've all done it. 100% everybody's doing it. But the thing is, when we do it, right? It doesn't work. You know what I mean? Our people, we have a responsibility to each other, right? If we and this is where our people come in. This is where we teach our people where God comes in, because we're actually held to a different standard than everybody else, even in God's eyes. And we always say, we have to be double as good as them to be noticed and things of that nature. But we can't be in that situation, do what they do, and then think that it's going to be the same result, right? And we got to really be careful of that covetous nature. I want to read something real quick, right? We're going to read something out of the Bible real quick. I'm going to read something for you. I don't know if do you go to church at all, Mr. Mayor?
Oh, I do, yes.
Okay. I'm going to read something to you. So the Bible's not foreign to you or anything like that, so we're going to read this.
No, not at all.
All right, so watch this. Give me Jeremiah chapter 6 and 13, right? This is a great scripture that deals with it, because like you said, we don't condemn anyone, right? Because what they did, we might have done had we been in the same situation. This is the reality. I would never try to say, well, if I was there, I wouldn't have done that. I can't say that. You know what I mean? Now, at the person I am now, no, I wouldn't. But had I not been doing what I'm doing now when I was out there, I would probably be the worst. I'd probably be doing it the most. You know what I mean? But go ahead, read that.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 13. For from the least of them, even unto the greatest of them, every one is given to covetousness.
Right. From the least of us to the greatest of us, anyone can be given to covetousness, right? So we got to watch ourselves in that, right? Go ahead.
And from the prophet, even unto the priest, everyone dealeth falsely.
Right. Anybody can deal falsely, depending on the situation you in, right? So she fell into that thing with the guy, and I heard she was married at the time, and I heard her husband passed away, I guess, before all of this even happened. But she was committing adultery. So there's a lot of foolishness going on in there. But that's what happens. We have to really check ourselves. And that's what I was telling you about when we deal with the children and deal with us as well, is just trying to keep those commandments. Just keep us on point. So because jobs like you guys have is very weighty. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's very weighty because everybody's looking at you, right? It's sort of like if you're a pastor, priest, like all of us are priests, right? So everybody's watching us. Yeah. Right? So you got to maintain, you have to maintain. But I just want to throw that at you. I don't know if y'all got something.
No, the moral
Right.
the moral compass got to be on point.
That's right.
Because everybody's looking for hypocrisy.
Right.
You know, especially you say, well, I'm standing up, I'm representing this people. You know, I'm representing the city. And then they say, well, behind closed doors, he or she is doing this, that, and the third. You know, it kind of it takes some of the air out of the tires for the people that believe in whatever vision you establish. You establish a certain vision, it takes the air out of the tires. So if I'm the one pushing the vision, I'm representing the vision, my moral compass has to be on point. And this scripture that we just read, everyone is given to covetousness. You know what I'm saying? If my child wants an apple, you know what I'm saying? My other child will see him and say, "Ooh, daddy, can I have an apple too?" That's just like since we were little, we like that.
Right.
You know, and as we get older, that doesn't really change much, and our morals got to come from somewhere, you know?
Right. Yeah, and look at this. Bring up number 17, right? So now this is something that's going on, and I know you know all about it. In Texas, they have that redistricting going on, right? So it's going crazy over there now. But of course, our dear sister, right? She had to lose her position, right? You know what I'm talking about. But bring it up for the people. Number 17, y'all. Number 17.
Remind you of what happened behind closed doors.
Well, you should ask O'Connor about my
I haven't
credibility.
asked you a question. Okay?
You are?
When I haven't. So when I ask you a question, that's when you answer. Otherwise, I'm talking.
Wait a minute. Let's put it on pause. So this is one of the representatives. Her name is Jasmine Crockett. Right. Jasmine Crockett. Okay. So they just showing her at work, right? At some time in the past, just showing you a little bit about how she's working and what does she do. And then we're going to get to the point of it. But hit play.
Excuse me?
Well, you the one talking about, I guess.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Yo.
Listen.
She said, I think your fake eyelashes are messing up your thoughts. This is crazy. Right? So this is right in the house. This is wild. But this is how they get down. Hit play.
So when I ask you a question, that's when you answer. Otherwise, I'm talking. So.
Excuse me?
Well, you the one talking about, I guess.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Wow.
Order.
Wow,
that's beneath even
order of your committee.
Order.
Ever watched a politician scream, "I represent the people," only to vanish the moment their seat gets shaky? Yeah. Welcome to the Crockett Show. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is on full panic mode now. Her own seat is literally being eliminated by Republican-drawn maps. And now she's scrambling like a cornered cat. This is less about principle and more about pure political survival. Buckle up.
All right. So we can drop that, right? So, Mr. Mayor, talk to us a little bit about this redistricting and what's going on with our good sister here, Jasmine Crockett.
Well, I don't know what that other lady was talking about. That video was from a few years ago.
Yeah, exactly. That was from a while ago. Yep, that thing was funny.
So I don't know if she's fighting for political survival as much as she's just been a fighter since day one, and people don't like it.
Right.
And so obviously it's very convenient to draw somebody out of their lines when you don't want them around to begin with.
Right.
And so we'll see what happens there. I don't know I think this whole redistricting thing is bad precedence. I think if there is one thing I have always believed in is while as imperfect as it may be, our system of government can evolve if you make it evolve. Fairness can exist if you make it and you work towards it. But when you start doing things like this, then you're not. I don't know. I'm glad that we're doing the redistricting in California to combat what they're doing in Texas, but I just think it's setting a bad precedent, and I think it's putting people more in their corners. And I think this is more than just these districts. The fact that someone in Maine votes because they want a quote secure southern border, even though they live in the whitest state in the nation,
right?
And somehow have this idea of somebody taking over their. I just think we keep pushing ourselves more and more into these deep, ugly corners that aren't even real. They're just not real. And so I think the redistricting thing is an outcome of as a symptom of that versus the redistricting thing being its own thing about seats in Congress. I think people are becoming so entrenched that we can't even see past our hand in front of us because they're so enraged. And the fact that Texas would do this is a demonstration of how enraged certain people are, even when they are in power, that they are willing to in effect blow things up and say, you know what, we don't know what the outcomes are going to be after this or what precedent we're setting, and it may be dangerous, but really right now for the immediate, I really don't care. And I think that's dangerous.
Right. I know you're talking about like the evolution of the system, right? But the system that America uses is from like ancient Rome, right? Literally. And so it's just a little bit different now, but it was the same. It was basically the same thing back then. I just want to read something to you, right? And to show you how the United States moves just like that Rome back then. So it makes it look like there can be a way for a change, but not really. It's like smoke and mirrors, so to speak, right? Let me get First Maccabees chapter 8 real quick, right? Just gonna read this to you. We can start in verse 12, I think.
First Maccabees chapter 8, verse 12. But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept amity.
Right. So they're talking about Rome. They're saying with their allies. So that's what they call them, their friends, right? And such that relied on them, they kept that amity. They kept that friendship, so to speak, right? Go ahead.
And that they had conquered kingdoms, both far and nigh, insomuch as all that heard of their name were afraid of them.
Right, go ahead.
Also, that whom they would help to a kingdom, those reigned.
Right. It said whom they would help to a kingdom, those reigned. It's sort of like when America goes over, they don't like a certain leader. They might put that leader in place, but then he gets his mind and like, wait a minute, these guys are using me. No, I got to work for my people. Then they go remove him and put another guy in there. He said those reigned. Right. Go ahead.
And whom again they displace. Finally, that they were greatly exalted.
Go ahead.
Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby.
Right. Meaning that none of them was a king. They didn't have like the king, this, queen, that. They didn't do that. Right. Go ahead.
Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house.
It said they made for themselves a senate house. Right. Just like we have today. Go ahead.
Wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people.
Right.
To the end they might be well ordered.
Right. So they had these 320 men in the Congress now, or in the Senate. I know now it's like, I don't know how many it is now, like 500 or something. I can't remember how many. But they were always consulting for the people daily. Right. Same thing today. Sit around. Hey, let's do this bill, so on and so forth. That's what's going on. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And that they committed their government to one man every year.
Right. They committed that government to one man every year. For us, it's every 4 years, the president. But back then, it was every year they would pick a new president. Right. Go ahead.
Who ruled over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one man, and that there was neither envy nor emulation among them.
Right, we good there. So they chose that one guy. He would represent and be the president, but they would all be dealing inside, making all the rules. Now, I bring that up just to say that there was no mention of people voting. There was nobody voting. They're looking to see what the people need. Okay, we're going to give them this. We're going to give them that. We'll take this for ourselves, so on and so forth. So as far as the government or the system evolving, I think this is as evolved as it's going to get.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now you got and so when we see a guy like Donald Trump, President Trump, doing what he's doing, we're not shocked. We're not shocked at all, because this is actually probably what he's supposed to be doing, like turning things over, making things crazy. During the time of the Roman Empire, when they went down, that's how things were going. Taxes were high. You know, people were out of work. All of the same kind of things you see now. We know America can't last forever, you know. Although we live here and things seem pretty good, but we know at some point it's going to collapse, you know, whether it's our time or after. But I just wanted to show you that, to show you how America really is pulling from the past, you know, and really living on those things from back then, and that's what that's what they embody. That's their forefathers, so to speak. You know, just want to throw that in there for you, Mr. Mayor.
Oh yeah, no, it's an interesting point. You know, it's so funny because at one point, like United States senators, they weren't always elected by the people; they were appointed.
Exactly. That's the point, right? Exactly. Exactly.
And so we evolved into allowing, you know, even picking the nominees for a presidential party.
Right.
Wasn't always done through primaries. It was a group of elite people would get together and say, "You will be the nominee for the party."
Oh, yeah. No, 100%.
So no, I hear what you're saying. But so in some ways we've evolved to be, you know, inclusive of people, but always, you know, the people part has always been, you know, the challenge, because it's who. Right. At one point it was rich white landowners, even poor white people couldn't participate, and so it's been an interesting history, to say the least.
Oh yeah, 100%. And now we're looking at all of the politicians that were going against Trump when he was running. Now all of them are under pressure, right? Bring up number 18. We're going to show you this real quick, Mr. Mayor. I don't know how much time you got left with us. Just let us know how much time you got.
Well, it is 9:30.
Yeah, it's 9:30. All right. All right. We're gonna give you a few more minutes, and then we're gonna let you go. All right. Bring up number 18.
Although I have been enjoying myself. Thank you.
Okay.
This was a lot of fun.
All right. Thank you. I'm glad you're happy. This is 18. All right. Cool. Hit that.
That, you know, she could be in the slammer for some 30 years. I'd say you're in tough shape. Now, they brought their legal analyst on last night to talk about what she's really facing, which I'll just simplify it for you. It's 30 years in prison, okay? 30 whole years in prison. Letitia James is in serious trouble, and she's got two investigations from the DOJ.
Pause. So Letitia James is the attorney general out of New York City, right? When Donald Trump was running, she was trying to press charges against him so that he, you know, so they could somewhat, I guess, think that they were gonna convict him of something, right? Of whatever it was. She was going after his his real estate holdings down in Florida. What they call that thing again? Mar-a-Lago and all of that. So now, of course, that didn't work out. He became the president again. Now he's after her, and guess what they're looking at? Her real estate, right? So yeah, it's funny. And now she's under pressure. They're threatening her with 30 years in prison, which probably won't happen. But the point is that they're shaking her up, right? They're shaking her up. Y'all can drop that.
Well, they did that. They, you know, I had posted this. Joe Biden pardons his family and some close allies as he's leaving.
Right.
But the three people he didn't pardon were the three law enforcement officers, one being Letitia, then the other one being the one from New York.
Oh yeah.
Washington D.C., and then Fannie Willis.
Right.
They didn't get pardons.
Right.
And yet you would have thought that. And so the post that I made was, it was a picture of all of them, and I said, here are the black people who went after Donald Trump on behalf of Joe Biden, and he didn't pardon them. Or right. I think why is it always that black people will go do the dirty work and don't get, you know, something? It was some meme that I posted. It was funny though. But the point being, you know, everybody else gets protected minus the black people.
Yeah. Right. Yep. No, that's how it is. And that's why it's a rough gig. It's a rough gig. You know, we personally, we don't vote. We don't get into it like that. Although brothers like yourself, like, we highly respect you, and you know, we show you a lot of honor, and that's why we wanted you to come on and speak about you know, your, you know, all the stuff you've been through as far as, you know, your life and getting into politics. Mm-hmm. I got a question for you. Where are you going from here? What's your name? Are you running for president? That's what we want to ask.
Right now, I'm just minding my own business. I'm even surprised I got on this show because I've been turning things down. Like, no, I'm not getting involved.
Right.
And not that I'm out of politics. It's I need this. I've never experienced anything like the last 4 years in my life, and so that was a lot. And I don't think people appreciate that. At one point, I had to wear a bulletproof vest. At one point, this guy tried to shove me out of the way or something.
Yeah,
we had to get the police involved for that. At some point, you know, people used my gender to turn the tables on me and claim sexual harassment and this and that. But people don't know that it's all done under a political framework.
See,
and not necessarily. Look, this is what it is. All political. And so, you know, I just said, you know, I started going out to the protest in the beginning, and then I said, you know what, I did my part. I did 4 years. I traveled the country for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I went above and beyond, and you know, and so I needed a break. But but being on this show was fun.
Yeah. Hey, we were happy to have you. All praises to the Lord, man, that you came on, and we were very excited because it was at the right time, you know, because all of this was going on throughout the week with all of the black mayors, and the National Guard in D.C. and the whole nine, and we were like, oh man, this just lined up perfectly. Yeah, you know, especially when we saw your background when I was reading about it, I said, oh man, this is excellent. So no more politics for you. You're out. Are you gonna?
No, I will always be in politics. All I'm saying is that there's nothing wrong with taking a break.
Okay.
Collect yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. All
you
right.
never know. You know, they're redistricting. Who knows how the lines may shape up? Hey, who knows?
Right.
I mean, could run for Congress. You know, I don't know.
Right.
You never know. But what I do know is that right now I'm on a break. I'm on a hiatus. I'm enjoying my time with my children.
Oh yeah.
And I've been enjoying my time appreciating our black queens now that I have time to actually to be available.
Right.
When I was the mayor, I didn't realize I wasn't available. So I've just come to appreciate that process more. And and so I'm focused on that. That's, you know, finding my queen, earning a good living and taking care of my kids.
That's it.
I feel it. Yeah.
That's it. Absolutely. Well, hey, Mayor Lamar Hernandez Thorpe.
Yes, sir.
We want to say thank you and for being gracious with your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
For sure.
And you know, much blessings in you know, what is it? Luck. People say luck in your future endeavors, but you know, Lord willing, whatever you choose, you know, you go into it and be successful, you know, and you know, just be safe because it's a rough gig and it's a rough industry. Let's just say that. A rough industry. Because I know there's supposed to be some redistricting going on in California. From what I heard, supposedly Governor Newsom, who Donald Trump called him New Scum, he called him that the other day. I said, wow. I said, this is crazy. He really hates him. But I heard that's going on. So, and plus he's supposed to be running for president. So, hey, man, if you become governor at some point, you know, come back to the show, man, so we could say we know the governor. All right. So, yes, sir. So, blessings to your family, man, and be safe. We just want to thank you again for joining us on the Nehemiah Squad. You know.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for what you do. This is important to try to communicate with people through every opportunity. And the fact that you do it through faith, I think, is even more important because, it you know, I believe in separation of church and state, but in terms of your values, there is no separation between your values and your faith, and that's how we operate in our daily lives, and that's how we operate in politics. You're governed by your faith and your values.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny you say that because I always remembered reading about that, the separation of church and state. But in the Bible, it's like church is the state. You know what I mean? Like the moral conduct and all of that has something to do with running the nation and also the faith aspect, right? So I think, like we were saying before, the moral compass, that's a big thing to take with you into that world, you know, because that world is savage, man. It's nothing
is.
but that world is savage, bro. That thing is crazy.
These are,
you know.
Yes.
All right. So yes, sir. All right. So thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your evening. All right. Bless to the family. Thank you.
All right. You too. Take care. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
All praises. All praises. That was Mayor Lamar Hernandez Thorpe.
Yes,
man.
sir.
That was great.
That was good.
Yeah, man.
That world, they not throwing blows, man. They going for soul.
Man, yeah.
they tearing down reputations.
Oh, man. That's
Man, it's crazy. And I can feel him, like he said. Could you imagine going outside with a bulletproof vest on?
Right.
Because some Edomite walks up to you with an envelope and all in your personal space. If she did that on camera, what else? What kind of letters are they getting and threats are they getting on the phone?
Exactly.
You know, that's I feel him. You know, a boxer been fighting for a long time,
right?
And they say, "What's your next fight?" He be like, "Man, I'm just going." I'll talk to my managers and I'm gonna kick it with the family for a year.
No, for real.
It sounds like he been fighting for a while.
No, for real. That's real talk, man. He tired. He said, "Man, listen, man, I'm just gonna enjoy the queen." Because now he's probably waking up and like, the sun looks nice from this part of the bed.
This is all right.
Right. You ain't stressed out like that, man. Hey, that's a rough thing. Hey, bring up number 4, because this is what he was saying. Because he had somebody literally come up to him and put hands on him, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Bring up number 4. And that's what happens. You know, you're trying to do a lot of work for the community, but it's not really appreciated.
Right.
You know, it's not really appreciated.
Out of the East Bay, this coming out of Antioch, where the mayor there is punched in the chest while speaking at an event. Now he has been given security detail. Today in the Bay's Bob Riddell, live for us outside of City Hall. Okay, Bob, how did it come to this, and has that man been arrested?
Not that we're aware of. Good morning to you, Marcus. But Antioch Mayor Lamar Thorpe tells us that he knows who this man is. He's let police know, and he does expect the police to be speaking with this man if they haven't already. Mayor Thorpe, seen here at last night's City Council at City Hall behind me here in Antioch, says that earlier yesterday a man hit him after he gave a speech at a Chamber of Commerce event. Now, Mayor Thorpe says he recognized the man as someone who has been confrontational before at city council meetings. He says the man accused the mayor of being missing in action in recent weeks. The mayor told us he was at a work conference during that time and attending to his dad, who was recently diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. According to the mayor, the man yelled and screamed as the mayor walked away. He says the man pounded him in the chest with his fist. The man tried to hit a second time, but a city council member intervened. Then the man ran off.
These MAGA people, these Trump supporters, all of these people are out of control. And so, and then the gentleman who did this to me, I know he's a right-winger. He's been kicked out of meetings several times, but I didn't think he'd get physical.
Yeah, that's what happens. You can drop that.
Yeah.
Hey, bring up let me get 2nd Ezra, chapter 11. Right? Because this is the whole thing when we dealing with these people that go crazy with politics, right? This is what happens, right? So the guy gets crazy. Now he wants to put hands on somebody, right? And he said he's a right winger, right? But check this out. We're gonna read 2nd Ezra chapter 11. Start in verse 30. 31.
2nd Ezra chapter 11 and verse 31. And behold, the head was turned with them that were with it, and did eat up the 2 feathers under the wing that would have reigned.
Go ahead.
But this head put the whole earth in fear.
Right, but this head put the whole earth in fear, right? That's talking about current day what? United States, Babylon. Go ahead.
And bear rule in it over all those that dwelt upon the earth with much oppression.
Right, because that's what the United States does, go all over and oppress all peoples all over the earth, putting a base here, a base there, taking resources. The people are starving, destitute. Go ahead.
And it had the governance of the world more than all the wings that had been.
Go ahead.
And after this I beheld, and lo, the head that was in the midst suddenly appeared no more, like as the wings. But there remained the 2 heads, which also in like sort ruled upon the earth.
All right, jump down to 42.
Verse 42. For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them.
Hold on. In verse 40, that what we was reading before, no. Verse 40, start at 40. 40 is the United States, 40 is Babylon. I was in the wrong place. I'm sorry, y'all.
Verse 40.
Don't kill me.
And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past.
Go ahead.
And had power over the world with great fearfulness.
Go ahead.
And over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression.
Come on.
And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
Come on.
For the earth hast thou not judged with truth.
For the earth hast thou not judged with truth, right? We're getting to the point about these wings. Go ahead. The right wing and the left wing. Go ahead.
For thou hast afflicted the meek. Thou hast hurt the peaceable. Thou hast loved liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit and had cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm.
Go ahead.
Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty.
Right. All that wrongful dealing is going up to the Lord. He's seeing everything. How? Because he's the one that put these people in power. So he knows what's going on. Read.
The highest also hath looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled.
Go ahead, read that next one.
And therefore appear no more, thou eagle.
And appear no more, thou eagle. America. Gone. That's what the Lord is saying. No more will be the appearance of that eagle. Go ahead.
Nor thy horrible wings.
Nor thy horrible wings. The right wing, the left wing, gone. No more of that. Read.
Nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads.
Go ahead.
Nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body.
Nor none of that vain body, right? So that's why, we don't get wrapped up in the politics like that, but we got love for our people when they're trying to do something for us, So same thing with Mayor Lamar, and some of our other people who's really being sincere in what they're doing, right? Now we got some brothers and sisters who's getting caught up in foolishness, right? We can't condone that. Right. We can't stand next to that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to come away from that. It's best that our people don't even get involved in politics, because in this way you don't have those what they call them, those trappings.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For you. That's for sure.
Right. Because if that's why I said before, it might have been one of us. If we was in that scenario, of course we're gonna try to get over. If you got the opportunity to go travel somewhere and say, "Oh yeah, I'm on business," and you're not on business, right? And you're gonna get an extra $5,000, are you not gonna do it? The Bible is the only thing stopping us from being like that. You understand what I'm saying? So right. we recognize that we don't condemn none of our people, but we tell them, hey, don't go in there. You being covetous, you want to take, you want to do this, and you committing adultery, you're going crazy. Go ahead. Yes.
No, I was thinking of a thing he spoke about earlier. Earlier he was talking about hatred, self-hatred, where it came from. Yeah. And I remember the thing he said that kind of cured it was meeting his biological people.
Right.
And that's kind of us in a nutshell.
Absolutely.
We got the self-hatred because we don't know our forefathers.
Right.
We don't know our forefathers, so we don't have sense of unity. We don't, we see each other as something different. So he met his sister, and that's when the self-hatred kind of alleviated a little bit. He started to love his people. So think about it on a larger scale. When we know who we are, and that's why nationality is so big, right, is when we know who we are, it's like, okay, you know what? I do love my people. Even though they acting up, they don't know who they are.
Right.
I found out. Let me try to go show them.
Right.
So that's where that love starts to come.
Right, right. And that's good that you brought that up, because he was even saying that his sister and other women that he was meeting at the time, they already was recognizing what was going on, and that's how they helped him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He even mentioned that, right? So the same thing with us, we'll be on the street teaching or whatever, and some people's acting up and they acting crazy. Now, sometimes you just want to smack somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of times we already know what it is. So we like, all right, and we start to deal with that person, right? And bring them in and show them, hey, bro, this is what we mean, sister. This is what we talking about. And then, and we'll see that hatred start to dissipate.
Yep.
And then they start to say, okay, I see what y'all talking about, Go ahead, you have something, bro?
Man, it was a lot of good stuff coming out with bruh. And I like the scripture that you brought out, because he said something about the government evolving. But
Right.
What you read shows that the government is going to be dissolved.
Dissolving.
Yeah.
Right. No, all praises. No, for real, because and that's for all of us to see that the way that government situation is set up, that whole democracy is what it's doing now is meant. That's what it's always meant to be, right? Remember in Maccabees, let's get that real quick, right? And most of us, we understand the scripture, right? But we're gonna bring this out just to, like the bishop would say, repetition is good.
Yeah.
Right? Repetition is real good.
Right.
So first Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 41, right? Because we look at the democratic process like it's really a good thing. Now, when we here in America, we got a lot of freedom, so to speak. We can move around, right? We ain't mad like that, right? Y'all understand what I'm saying, right? In other places, it's more tight. You can't do as much. But that don't really mean anything because you don't know who you are. You don't. As soon as you start to find out who you are, the whole world changes.
Yeah.
As long as you stay in this democratic situation, you straight.
Right.
And that's what this is going to say right here. Go ahead.
First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Right, that all should be one people in his kingdom, right? So his kingdom, remember, Alexander the Greek, right? He conquered all of the nations, all the dark nations, all the nations were now under the auspices of the Greeks. So he's saying that all of these people need to leave what they're doing and become what? One people. Go ahead.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed, according to the commandment of the king.
Right. So all the other nations said, all right, cool, we're going to roll with you. So they all became Greeks. Go ahead.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Right. You see, they calling democracy a religion. Right? They calling the democracy a religion. It said many of the Israelites also consented to his religion, meaning what? Now they were being called Greeks. So now when you read the New Testament, and right, we tell y'all this all the time, when you see there's neither Jew nor Greek, it's talking about the Greek-speaking Jews. That's what it's talking about. Right? Go ahead, read.
And sacrificed unto idols.
Uh-huh.
And profaned the Sabbath.
Right.
For
Go ahead.
For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
Right, the strange laws of the land, meaning the laws that the Greeks put together. Right, so now imagine you within the confines and the what's the word that we use in the New Testament? Oh man, I forgot they had a word for that. But you within the confines of Israel, now you got to do what the Greeks are doing. That's why they call it strange laws. This is retarded. But they're gonna show you what the strange laws are. Go ahead.
Verse 45, and forbid burnt offerings.
That was very strange. That's of the other name. Forbid the burnt offerings. Go ahead.
And sacrifice.
Go ahead.
And drink offerings.
Go ahead.
In the temple. And that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
Right. It said that they should profane them. That was part of being one people. They didn't want them to keep their own thing. They said, no, profane that. Right? That's why that's why we go to church on Sunday now. That's why we do all these different things, celebrate Christmas and Easter and all that, because you have to do what they do in order to do what? Be one people. Go ahead.
And pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
Right. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 47. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts.
Right. And sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. Right. Go ahead.
That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation.
Here go that next verse. Go ahead.
To the end they might forget the law.
Go ahead.
And change all the ordinances.
And that's what happened, right? To the end that they might forget the law. So all our people forgot the laws. To the point that now we telling them, hey, you got to keep the laws. No, you're the Pharisees. No, this is you read the Old Testament.
You hate.
Right. You hate us and no
judgment.
Crazy as hell. What you say?
Judgment. They think we judging them.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
try to show them the right way.
Exactly. You have to keep the laws of God. You see what it says here? It said that they did what? That they had to profane. That's profane not to keep the laws, brothers,
right.
sisters. All right, go ahead. Read that next one. Next verse.
Verse 50.
Yep.
And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said, he should die.
Right. And you're going to die, meaning what? You couldn't say you was a Jew. You couldn't keep no high holy days. You couldn't keep nothing. You had to die. So today when we telling brothers and sisters, hey, you got to keep the law as the Israelites, so on and so forth, and they telling us, no, you wrong. That's because you're destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Yep.
You know?
It's stuck there. But what they don't understand, and we read this precept last week, is that this system ain't for you. It's not here to help you. It's not here for none of that. So even if you don't proclaim that you are Israelite, right, you still get the short end of the stick, I'll say.
Yeah,
right.
No matter what.
No matter what, you get it. Because you trusted in this. So give me Lamentations 4 and then Ezekiel 35.
Yeah.
Lamentations 4 first, 4:17. I want to also talk about how this government is gonna get wiped out. You know, it ain't no evolving in this, but read this first.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17.
Come on.
As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. And our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
We have watched for a government that can't save us. These people won't save you. They hate you. You have to understand that.
Right.
They don't just hate you. They hate you. They hate your grandmama, your grandpapa,
Right.
and your kids. Read Ezekiel 35 verse 1, speaking against their government. Come on.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.
Set thy face against Edom.
Right.
That's Mount Seir. Go ahead.
And prophesy against
And
it.
prophesy against its government. Go ahead.
And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee.
You see that? God is against this people. How they move, how they rock, how they act towards us. God is against that. Come on.
And I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
No, most what do you say? Most prosperous.
Oh.
Nah. It said most desolate, not most prosperous.
Right.
Go ahead.
I will lay thy cities waste.
God said he's going to lay these cities waste. Every city that got their hand against us in this government is going to get laid waste. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
Watch this. Why?
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Because you have had a perpetual everlasting hatred against God's people. You call them black. You promote rap music, which teaches us to kill and hate one another. You promote whoredom in our communities. These are all of the things you promote. Go ahead.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
And you have shed our blood. Your police killers with no reason. Your government put people in jail and keep them there, and they ain't did nothing. Not as worse as what you do, at least. Go ahead.
By the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Read.
Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood.
God said he going to prepare blood for you. Go ahead.
And blood shall pursue thee.
And blood going to pursue you. Why? Why? Because of that perpetual hatred that you had towards his kids. You killed us for no reason. Stuff happens, and now it's going to happen to you like it's in Revelation. Go ahead.
Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
He said, since you did not hate killing the Israelites, that blood going to pursue you just like you pursued them. This government is going down today, bye.
Going down today, bye.
That's right.
Hey, bring up number 9. Bring up number 9, y'all. Right? Because we talking about, because that's big right now with Trump actually having the National Guard in D.C. You know what I'm saying? The National Guard moving around. One of them got hit in the face, got hit in the chest with a sandwich.
Man.
Yo, he got hit in the chest with a sandwich, point blank.
That's assault.
Yo, after the dude hit him with the sandwich, he was running slow motion. I said, bro, you ain't even trying to get away, man. You could have got away, man.
Assault with a tasty weapon.
What's wrong with you?
Yo, assault with a tasty weapon. Yo, he went in there, spent all that time putting the sandwich together, and then just threw it dead in his chest.
Extra mayo.
Yeah.
Extra mayo.
Yo. All right. Hey, number 9 and go to the 1 minute mark.
there might be more effective strategies than throwing in people with guns. Perhaps that's why a number of the cities that Trump has singled out as the worst in the country.
Hit pause, y'all.
Whoa.
Hit
Take
pause,
it back
y'all.
to the beginning.
Hit pause. Because I want to see that real quick.
Oh, my bad. He said pause it right there. My bad.
Yeah. I want to go to the, just you're right there. All right, drop me for a second, bro. All right. Oh, come on. Right there, y'all. Right, so change in year-to-date crime totals, right? So it says Oakland is down by 31%, right? L.A. down by 15.9%, Chicago 13.3%, Baltimore 11%, D.C. 7.1%, New York 4.9%. That's what it's saying, right? But the others are saying that what? The numbers are fudged, right? Go ahead, hit play.
Have all seen a decrease in crime, some at historic lows. There's also one other detail that connects them.
But when you look at what the president's saying, the fact that my city and all the others called out by the president on Sunday, led by black mayors, are all making historic progress on crime. But they're the ones getting called out. And it tells you everything that you need to know.
It's no coincidence, though, that these are cities that have large populations of black and brown people.
There you go. Right. No. She hit it on the head. These are the cities that have the large populations of black and brown people, right? And now what? The National Guard is going to slide up in there, right? They're going to be stopping you for well, the National Guard is not allowed to stop you or arrest. But what it will do is put pressure on the whole community and allow the police to be honest, I don't see what the big deal is. Because if they can't arrest you or do nothing, what are we talking about? Right. I saw them in D.C. They started saying, oh, yeah, we've made all of these arrests and we've got child pornography off the street. Child pornography? Then you need a National Guard. How the National Guard got something to do with that?
Right.
You finding them online.
Yeah.
What that got to do with it? You see how they just piling stuff on, trying to make it look like they got something going on. Mm-hmm. Like they really making some big change to show you that it's just all BS at the end of the day. Hit play.
Hey,
wait, hold on.
But what they forget to say is that they the ones that started up all this crime in these inner cities.
Exactly.
They the ones put the guns there.
Exactly.
They the ones put the drugs there.
Man.
They put the crack cocaine and the heroin on the streets. That's causing all of the violence in the first damn place.
Exactly.
They forgot to say all of that.
Yeah, why would they? You know what I mean?
They forgot about that.
Yeah, that's too much right. I ain't forgot.
Yeah, what they say, they create the problem and then clean it up.
Right. And then they fake like they have the solution.
Yeah, that's the hero effect.
Right. Go ahead, hit play, y'all.
Cities, all of the coincidence, though, that these are cities that have large populations of black and brown people. These are cities, all of these cities where the crime rates are going down. These are the cities that happen to be led by black mayors. What is this about?
You know what it's about.
What is this about indeed? Joining us now, both of those mayors, Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott and Oakland, California Mayor.
We could drop them. They just getting ready to have a conversation. They had both of those mayors on the show, and they were gonna have that discussion about it. But we know what it is, y'all.
Yeah,
we know what it is. But again, that's why we tell y'all, don't get caught up in this politics because it's not for us.
Right?
They're gonna chase us out. You know what I mean? You mean to tell me? Because within the whole political game, everybody, like the scripture said, and the bishop had brought it out on the Sabbath. It was a beautiful scripture, that Jeremiah 6:13, about how everyone is I'm paraphrasing, everyone is susceptible to covetousness.
Everyone, yep.
You know what I mean? From the least to the greatest, right? And that's what happens, because you might have some thoughts, but when you get there now and everything's laid out for you, got red carpet wherever you go, now guess what? Taking an extra $5,000 because you went down to the store. Oh yeah, I'm still on I'm still on duty being a mayor. I'm just buying some bonbons. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm on duty. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna take those privileges. You're gonna take that time. You know? Hit number 10. Bring up number 10 at 1 minute and 20 seconds. You know, and this is what happens, y'all. This is what happens. Look what they're going through right now all of a sudden. You're gonna tell me not one Edomite mayor or nowhere is having a problem? None of them is involved in no kind of scandals.
Yeah.
They just running smooth. Ain't nobody steal no time.
Man.
Nobody's committing adultery on their wife. Nothing.
Ain't no crime in their city.
Right. They cities is flourishing.
All time low.
Come on, man. You can't make it up. But again, this is part of the whole game, right? Because they knew all this was going to happen. So what? They made sure all of these brothers and sisters were in those positions by the time this man becomes president. Come on, man. This ain't no game. Y'all got it? Number 10, 1 minute, 20 seconds, y'all.
Of the police department under the supervision of our mayor. Very important win for home rule today.
I'm Muriel Bowser. I'm the mayor of Washington, D.C. I am pleased to stand with our Attorney General Brian Schwab and his capable team at the Office of the Attorney General, as well as members of my team. We are grateful for the hard work that was done when we received an order late into the evening, yesterday evening, that we read as plainly against the Home Rule Charter. Our teams worked throughout the night. The judge herself commented on the hard work that was done and presented in the cases made. And I am encouraged by the judge's remarks and the federal government making the changes that were suggested, and the judge's willingness to rule if that's not satisfactory.
All right.
Thank you.
We could drop that. So what she's trying to do is reverse Trump being able to bring in the National Guard into D.C. Now, it was just like, I don't know if y'all saw Bishop Yawasop's class on the Sabbath, right? D.C. is not a state. So it's not really under the same auspices as the other states, as states. So Donald Trump can just bring people in out. He could kind of do what he wants. Yeah. So she has to go to the judge and get certain verbiage and everything to try to push back. You see how in Chicago, New York and stuff, they have state right. So they can say, no, the National Guard ain't coming here. They can fight. But D.C., they can't do that. That's why he rolled it out like that. So now he's trying to, that's why he's trying to get them to go into Oakland, so on and so forth. He's working behind the scenes in order to make that happen. But it's not as easy as D.C. So that's why she's probably the only one that has to maneuver right now. The rest of them, they could kind of just say no. You know what I mean? Yeah. Move forward. So this is going on all over. Now, remember, in L.A., they had those troops there already due to what? Due to the ICE raids and all of that, right? So those troops were already there, but the mayor, Karen Bass, been trying to get them up out of there. Now they're gone, right? So she's happy for that. But if it's up to Trump, they're gonna come right back, right? Hey, bring up number 12, right? So we're gonna bring up number 12. This is we're gonna bring up this video with the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, when they're asking him about the National Guard coming into New York City.
Governor Hochul and Mayor Adams are firing back against President Trump's threats to deploy troops in New York City. The mayor sitting down tonight for an exclusive interview with our Ali Bauman.
I could only say it in 3 words. We got this.
Mayor Eric hey, that's all we need. We got this. You know what I mean? This man said, yo, we got this, President Trump. You know what I mean? We good over here. That's really what he's saying. Go ahead, y'all.
Man, I don't know if he got it with them socks he got on.
Yo, leave him alone. He got to have that flavor, man.
He put on the high slack so you can see him.
Exactly. That's what it's about. You got to have that flavor. You got to have that flavor, man. You got to get them good socks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And make sure you sitting cross-legged so your so your pants is up high
Look
enough.
At these.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, come on, man. You can't play games, man. He spent some good money on them socks, man.
For sure.
Bruh.
You know? But this is what's going on. This is what's going on.
And it hit Issachar first. It hit Issachar first, but you see the potential, right? If they can roll in, they ain't got to do nothing, but it's saying something without saying something. If we could put the National Guard in your worst cities,
right?
Whenever the president decides to snap his finger, what are gangs gonna do against the army?
Nothing.
Oh
man,
nothing. They can't do it now. The families being ripped apart. Gangs ain't doing nothing.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? The Serranos ain't doing nothing. You know, because they can't. You when it come to the state is so unified. We read First Maccabees 8.
Right.
It said there was no envy amongst them.
Right.
They unified when it come to oppressing us.
Yes.
Right. And we so divided, man. There's no fighting back.
Yep. Hey, y'all, find that video. I didn't bring it out because I didn't think we needed to, but you just said something heavy, right? Bring it out with the United States putting the troops, getting ready to stop the cartels in Mexico, right? Because you said, what can the gangs do against the troops?
Army. Yeah,
absolutely
army.
nothing, right? So right now you got, and I don't know if y'all heard of this, but now Donald Trump got the troops basically looking like they're about to invade Mexico. Now they saying no, he's just talking about on this side of the border. That don't make no sense because the cartels ain't on this side like that. They got people coming in doing business, but they not in there like that. So he's looking to touch targets within Mexico and supposedly crush the cartels once and for all. Now, we all know that is impossible. Because you could crush all the main cartels that everybody know about. Okay, let's say they get knocked off. And then what? And in 6 months, somebody else going to pop up.
Right. Yep.
Right? That all of them drugs is still being grown, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. The cocaine is still coming from Colombia.
Yep.
It's still going through Mexico.
Yep.
And it's still going to be doing that after y'all blow up all of the cartels. It just don't matter. So what is he after? You know what I mean? What is he really? Did y'all find anything on that? Bring that up, because this is wild. This is wild right here. I heard that this morning. I was like, damn. It's always something. Donald Trump got his hands all over the place.
Yeah, he's moving pieces.
Yeah.
He's moving pieces around.
Yep. He's talking to what's his name? Zelensky and Putin. He got the situation in Israel. He's doing ICE. He got National Guard throughout the city. Hey, y'all. It's a lot going on. That's why the scriptures say, watch and pray. Yeah. Watch and pray. We looking at all this. We keeping our eyes on everything, right? Because what? We waiting for the return of Christ. This is the beginning. All of the wars, the rumors of wars, and all of that. Go ahead, y'all. Bring that thing up. Turn that volume up, y'all. Don't hear anything.
No volume.
We don't hear anything. All we see is bricks.
Paid in full.
Bricks on the
movie.
Yeah.
Yo.
He said paid in full. Yo, there's 14 bricks right there. Yo.
Damn.
Come on, y'all.
Come on, man. Play it, man.
Where that volume at, y'all?
Put the volume on it, man.
Oh, these guys are terrible.
Trump gonna have the cartels coming out, hands up, singing war.
Right.
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Right. You know what he want to do? He want to take them and put them in that jail in El Salvador.
Man.
You know, that's what he want to do.
They over there flexing power right now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Trump is flexing power. You know, going to other presidents and making them apologize and you know, ask for gratitude. You never said thank you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How are you going to embarrass another president on live TV like that? You know, and then you working with the other president that they at war with. He's like playing speed chess by himself. He just moving all the pieces around. He's busy. He's a busy president.
Yo,
man.
he's a busy president. Yo.
Yeah, we got to stay on point, though. We got to stay on point.
It's a lot going on, y'all. We got to keep our eyes on that news. You know what I mean? Because every day is something.
And it's all biblical.
No, for real.
Yep.
For real.
In the morning, you wake up, you turn that world news on.
Right.
World news. And that's leading you right to the scriptures.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Hey, y'all got that?
Come on, y'all.
What's the big deal about this? You can't bring up a video? What are we waiting for? They keep saying putting up finger up. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, what the hell? One more second, please. For what? What we doing?
Yo.
Come on, y'all, man.
Come on, y'all killing it, man. They just murdered the vibe,
Hey,
man. These guys
put
are
the
horrible.
do the thing.
Oh,
man.
yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah.
You see this here?
Oh, hey, in the meantime, hey, y'all donate to the Booster Club, all right, the Isaiah 11:11 project, all right? We all over the world trying to gather the 12 tribes, but we need your help, all right, for the airfare, the hotels, the food, and all of that, all right? So please give as you are able, all right? We're doing great things. Y'all see, if y'all watch, y'all see we doing everything we say we're going to do.
Yes,
all
sir.
right?
And my man Lamar Thorpe, you know he meant business when he pulled them glasses up like that. Oh man, he was like, you want to step outside?
He was gonna throw them things with you.
Yeah, he was serious. And that's the energy we like that energy because somebody's standing up for themselves, man.
No, you got to.
Yeah, you got to stand up for yourself at some point, regardless of how the other nations are thinking and reacting.
Right.
You
No
know,
matter how people take it. Yeah, sometimes you got to do that. You got to show the people, hey, you listen, you talking to a man right now. Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
He was about to give him one of them old-fashioned Navy ass whoopings.
Swab the deck with it.
He was about to chip the paint off of homeboy. For real.
He was about to show you why he was what do you say, scraping the
chipping that paint.
Yeah, he was about to show you how to chip the paint.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, y'all bring it up. Are we gonna have some volume this time? Oh God.
Where my belt?
Yeah.
Our administration
here we
can
go.
use
Here we
the
go.
military to go after Latin American drug gangs that have been designated as global terrorist organizations and has quietly ordered the Pentagon to prepare options for it. The order, signed by Trump, reportedly provides an official basis for direct military operations at sea and on foreign soil against cartels. This would likely mean in the Gulf of Mexico.
Pause. You heard what they said? They said at sea and on foreign soil. So that means the troops are going to be able to engage whoever's coming with the product across seas. If they stop the ships, go in there and find them, they got them, and they could go into Mexico itself and grab the cartels there. That's what they're trying to say. Go ahead, hit play.
And potentially within Mexico itself. There's other South American countries that might be worth eyeballing as well. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum saying yesterday, flat out, I'll read one of her quotes. She's rejecting this idea plainly. She says, the United States is not going to come to Mexico with the military. We cooperate, we collaborate, but there is not going to be an invasion. That is ruled out, absolutely ruled out. She was
First of all, she's lying. She got to tell the Mexican people that. You know what I'm saying? But what they don't know is that she already gave over some of the cartel guys to the United States already. They went and apprehended a couple, and in the night, you see them getting off the plane and taking them to America because the deal is already in place.
Look at them rewards, man. $5 million, $3 million.
$5 million for my man Johnny Hurtado Alascago.
He looked like a regular dude.
Yeah. They call him Pez, and his brother name is Fresa, right? And look what they're saying: foreign terrorist organization.
Jeez.
So they have the drug cartels now as terrorist organizations, right? Now, yeah, we know the drug dealing is horrible, right? If we got a button, if we could press a button right now and say no more drugs, we're gonna press that button right now. Yeah. But we also know that this is some BS that's going on, clearly, right? Because the United States is making crazy money off of drugs. Right? So maybe they're not making enough. Maybe somebody cut somebody out of a deal and now they got to go get them.
Yep.
And after they install the new cartels,
then
it's going to be cool. Because I have a feeling that's probably what's behind all of this. Yeah. United States is not into cleaning nothing up.
Nah.
They ain't into cleaning nothing up. Right. That's stupid.
She said we cooperate.
Yeah.
You know, that means, whatever they want, we've been taking care of them,
But there's another thing at play, right? Because the government in Mexico is down with the cartels.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Hey, y'all, we good on that. We good on that. But this is what we dealing with, man.
Right. I want to go to Isaiah 59.
Please.
Real quick. Because I'm just reminiscing on the conversation we having with the Mayor Lamar. And he's saying, well, it's no protection when we stick our neck out there. We stick our neck out. And it's always the black people get the short end of the stick.
Yep.
And like you said, all the people that got pardons, the 3 black ones, they stuck in prison.
Right.
After they but it's cool for them to have us out there and say, see, we're not racist. We got black people on our party.
Right.
They use us in that way, but when it's time to defend us, they know where to be found.
Right.
So Isaiah 59 and start at 9. Start there.
Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 9. Therefore is judgment far from us. Neither doth justice overtake us.
It's not fair, basically, in layman's terms. It ain't nothing fair happening, and we're not getting no proper judgment. Read.
We wait for light.
We wait for light, for things to be right. Read.
But behold, obscurity.
It's still obscurity from like how many years are they going to be consistently screwing us over before we realize this people is not upright. Read on.
For brightness, but we walk in darkness. We grope for the wall like the blind. And we grope as if we had no eyes.
Right, they walking around feeling around for the way. Read on.
We stumble at noonday as in the night.
Right.
We are in desolate places as dead men.
Read on.
We roar all like bears.
That's going to the morning and crying. Oh, why this? Why that? We are a man. No justice, no peace. Read on.
And mourn sore like doves.
And there go the crying, the sorrow. Right? Read on.
We look for judgment.
We look for judgment. We look for things to be fair at some point. Read.
But there is none. For salvation, but it is far from us.
It's far from us because we will not hearken to the laws of God. It's like the Lord tell us this is going to happen to you. The people that you're dealing with ain't upright. And it's like we're not listening to God. It's like, no, but we can save them. We can change them. We can charm them. Right? But no, they consistently show us that, hey, we not for you. We're not for you. You know, so that's why we'll have a situation. And people starting to realize it's like, man, I've tried everything we could. We tried everything we could, but, you know, it's just not fair. You feeling the unfairness of it, but you're not seeing the root of it. The root is right here.
Right. All praises. Hey, bring up number 20 real quick. That first it's like a text. Well, it's not a text, but it's just something like a page out of a book. Hopefully y'all got that snapshot. Y'all good? Y'all got it? All right, perfect.
Where you want me to start?
Enlarge that. All right, perfect. All right, start from the top.
The Severan dynasty.
Right, the Severan dynasty, right? That's talking about Septimius Severus and his dynasty, right, from when he started, right? So now the reason I'm bringing this up is because now as we coming towards the end, we know this is the end time. These are the last days. And a lot of our people now are in what? Are in these positions of power, in these political positions, right? Before the decline of this nation, right? Because that's what's happening. It's declining. So at the time when Septimius Severus came in, right, he was a Jew, right? A brother, right? Now he wasn't, now when I say he's a Jew, meaning that he wasn't keeping no commandments and nothing like that. He was horrible like everybody else at that time, right? But this is when he got into power, right? And throughout him, and then his sons took over, so on and so forth. But I just want to show you how things, when we start getting into power in these Edomite situations, this is when things start going bad. Not because we're making it go bad, it's just that they're allowing it because they know it's about to go. Y'all understand what I'm saying? But go ahead.
The Severan dynasty, while not solely responsible, significantly contributed to the decline of the Roman Empire through a combination of factors, including excessive spending on the military.
Right. So even today, there's excessive spending on the military, right? Massive amount of spending on the military, right? If we bring it up right now, it'd be crazy, right? We even found out that some of the money going into the military is coming from child support.
Damn.
Right? It's insane. They're running some of these companies, the military industrial complex is running the child support system and getting money from child support. You can't make it up, right? And invest in that and then being able to go ahead and go make whatever bombs and planes or whatever they're trying to do. All right, go ahead.
Currency debasement.
Currency debasement, right? Meaning the currency is what? Losing value, right? Just like today. Why? Why did lose? Because although America they just keep printing money. If you really go by the structure on how money's supposed to be valued, the American dollar wouldn't have that much value.
Not at all.
Right? It's supposed to be valued on gold, but it's not. It's just constant printing, inflation, currency debasement. Go ahead.
And political instability.
Political instability. So you don't see that so much with Trump. It looks stable, right? But what? Everything else around it, look, all these mayors, everything's going on. This one's doing this one's doing that, right? Go ahead.
These actions are exacerbated existing problems and laid the groundwork for the crisis of the 3rd century.
Right. It says, I'm sorry, bro. It says these actions exacerbated existing problems, right? So all the problems is letting you know that before Septimius Severus got there, these things were already going on.
Yeah.
It's just like we were bringing up earlier that the brothers and sisters who become mayor and go into politics, they jump in it and they're like, oh, the crime is terrible, this and that. But it's already been there.
Yeah, that mess
right?
been there.
Right. But what? Because of all of this, it's exacerbated the problems that were already there, bringing it more out to light, right? Making it more, proliferating more, right? Go ahead.
A period of intense turmoil that severely weakened the empire.
Right. All right, so we good on that. We good on that. Right? I just wanted to show that real quick. Go ahead, Joe.
That's like the age of decadence. Ain't that what they call that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
you start to see like entertainment goes up to keep your mind off of the real things going on outside. They constantly want us entertained, and that's what they do to our people. You know, smoke and mirrors.
Right.
While the real things are going on the side, and they're watching those things.
Right.
The news that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen.
Right.
That's what you want to pay attention to.
Right.
That's the real news.
Right.
You know.
No, you know what? Hey, bring that back up. There's something we got to get out of there, because this is good. Because the same way we looking at, we're gonna bring up something from that mayor in Chicago. Like I heard Trump say, "Oh, he's terrible. He's like the worst mayor they ever had. All the crime and everything under him." He's attributing all of that to this man, right? But watch this. Wait till we read this thing, because we stopped reading, but we're gonna read on because there's something in there I want y'all to see. Scroll down. Right, the economic instability. Start from there.
Economic instability.
Scroll it up, y'all. Come on, right there.
Currency debasement. Septimius Severus and his successors significantly reduced the silver content of Roman coins, denarius, to fund their military campaigns and lavish spending.
Right? That's what our people was doing, having lavish spending. That's what these politicians do. But they're saying it. Look how they're writing it about him like he was the only one doing it. Meanwhile, the rest of those rulers, they had little boys they was sleeping with, they was into all type of fantastic foolishness. Yo.
Wonderful sins.
No, for real. Some wonderful sins. They were out of their mind, right? Now they acted like, talk about lavish spending. They always was doing, but again, this is what we see, and this is the same thing as now, right? Read on.
This practice, known as debasement, led to inflation as the value of the currency decreased.
Go ahead.
The rapid devaluation of the currency under Septimius and Caracalla.
Caracalla, that was his son, right? Now, when you see they were twins in that movie
Gladiator 2.
Gladiator 2, right? They showed some white people. Yeah. But no, they were Septimius Severus' sons. It was two black kids. The sons were black. That's what they talking about. Caracalla. Go ahead. Because one of them wound up being the ruler over the other one. But go ahead.
Far exceeding previous rates, created economic chaos and undermined public trust in the empire's financial system.
Right. Okay. Scroll up. Let me see a little bit about the excessive military spending. Okay, good. Go ahead.
Excessive military spending. The dynasty's focus on expanding and strengthening the military, while initially aimed at securing the empire's borders.
See that? Initially aimed at securing the empire's borders. But this sounds like we're reading this from today.
Yeah.
That's exactly what so-called we trying to secure the borders. Go ahead.
Led to the unsustainable levels of public spending.
Go ahead.
This created a financial strain on the empire, diverting resources from other essential areas, like infrastructure and social programs.
Right. That's why we taking away SNAP. That's why we're taking away all of these things now, because what? We need that money for other things. Breaking down the infrastructure, breaking down the social programs to do what? Give money to the so-called empire. See, the difference between America and Rome at that time is that America has way more power now. That's why I talk about in the scriptures that what? When that beast came back, right, was wounded. And we need to get that. That's a revelation. Get that real quick, right? Came back what? Stronger than ever, right? This is brothers and sisters. We're living it right now. These are the biblical times we really live in it.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 3. And I saw one of his heads, as it were wounded to death.
Right, that was Rome. It said, as it was wounded to death, right? That was the fall of the Roman Empire. Go ahead.
And his deadly wound was healed.
Go ahead.
And all the world wondered after the beast.
When it healed, It's saying that what? When Rome died, we showed earlier in 1 Maccabees 8 that America was exactly the same type of situation, the Senate, the Congress, and all of that. So when Rome, the empire, fell, it was just a wound because it came back as the United States of America. Right? Read on.
And they worshiped the dragon.
Go ahead.
Which gave power unto the beast.
Right. They gave power unto the beast. Who? Satan. Gave power unto who? Esau. The beast. America. Go ahead.
And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?
Right. Who is able to make war with him? Nobody. Right now, America, who can beat America in war? Nobody. America could literally fight about 5, 6, 7 wars simultaneously. That's how crazy. See, we don't really know. It just looked like, we just got one little army, navy, the Air Force. No, it's very, very powerful, y'all. Right. It's a lot of people and they got drones now. The stuff that's going on in Mexico is going to be mainly a drone war. They're going to send them in, blow up everything, and then send some troops in and scoop up whatever they need to scoop up. You know what I mean? Take the drugs. Y'all seen the bricks? Remember I was making a joke like from the movie Paid in Full. Right. Said it was 14 bricks right there. It was 14 bricks.
You got 14 bricks right there?
Yeah. It was 4 piles of 3 and then 2 on the top. It was literally 14. I was gonna bring it up while she was talking. You got 14 bricks right there. Yo, for real. But that's what's going on, y'all. Right? America came back hard and strong, man. Pause.
If you would have just let it go.
It wouldn't have passed over, bro.
Yeah. No. We couldn't let it go. I had to say something. It was sounding real crazy. Y'all are sick, man. Something wrong with y'all, man. All right. Yeah, but okay. So check this out. Bring up that next one. The page that y'all brought up. Bring up the next following page. Just want to show y'all one more thing on there. We got to close out. That next one, y'all, the one that says political instability. Political instability. Bring that up real quick. All right.
That one, Praetorian Guard corruption?
Yes. Power within the empire.
Scroll
up, y'all. Scroll up.
Keep going. Scroll up. Keep going. All right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Praetorian Guard corruption. The Praetorian Guard, the emperor's personal bodyguard, became increasingly powerful and corrupt during this period, even auctioning off the throne at one point. This demonstrated the weakening of imperial authority and the vulnerability of the empire to internal threats.
Right. That's kind of like when you seen that movie again. We going back to
Gladiator 2.
Gladiator, right? 2 with Denzel. That's kind of what he was doing, right? Auctioning the throne. He was going and talking to people and doing little games in the background to try to achieve power, right? But the bottom line is the corruption part, right? Much corruption. That's what starts to happen because people start to see there's holes in the game. Let me try to get what I could get. Scroll up. I want that last one, though. Civil Wars.
Civil Wars. The Severan dynasty's reliance on military force and its destabilizing economic policies contributed to a period of civil war after the death of Severus Alexander, according to Quora discussion. This conflict further weakened the empire and paved the way for the crisis of the 3rd century.
Right. So that's kind of what we see going on. A lot of people saying, it might be a civil war in the United States, right? Because there's just a lot going on. You got factions. You got Esau going against themselves almost now, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Edomites is mad at what Trump is doing and what the government is doing. They got their own little counterculture, and they really ready to get it on.
Yeah.
They're really ready to get it on. So these are the things that you see, But yeah, y'all, that's all I got on that.
Yeah. I hear them talking about it at work.
Right.
Them Edomites talk about civil war and rising up. They talk about it. They bold at work. They talking about politics and all that kind of stuff.
You don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Real talk. All right. All praises though. It was a great show, Again, we thank the mayor, Lamar Hernandez Thorpe, for coming on and giving us his time, and that was excellent,
All praises.
Yeah, we got a little bird's eye view into what goes on that level, especially with all the with everything that's going on right now with all the other mayors across the country. So that was a great look. Yeah, we're gonna hit that booster club again. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just send that bread. That's all we're gonna say now. Yeah. Send that bread. We already gave the whole spiel before. Y'all know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just give as you can so we can continue this work. All right. Let's go to the next slide. All right, and save a couple of coins for us, the Nehemiah Squad. All right, they go to QR code, pull out your cameras, handle that business. All right, or just on PayPal, iuic.norcal@israelunite.org, and send us a couple of dollars. We need to get some new lights, and we need a new camera
and a new team.
Oh shoot,
they getting better.
Yeah, we ain't have to fire nobody tonight, man. We didn't have to threaten no firings. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Let's
go.
Go ahead. All right. So next week, we doing a show on is Trump and the United States obviously building a nuclear empire on the moon. Well, that's what they're trying to do, right? Now, also China and Russia's involved in this whole thing. It's a race, another space race like back in the days. Yeah. All right, y'all. So tune into that show. We're not going to have a guest next week on that show because we want to bring all this stuff out. And then in the 2 weeks after that, we're having a NASA rocket scientist coming on the show. Yeah. Y'all do not want to miss that.
Right. That's going to be fun.
Right. It's going to be crazy. She's literally one of the builders of the rockets and spaceships. She's literally working on the spaceships. So we're going to be able to ask her all of these questions regarding the space travel, regarding she might not have too much information on this per se, but all of the information regarding going to the moon and space travel and the whole 9 yards. And of course, we're going to, show her the scriptures on chariots and so forth. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's going to be excellent. Y'all want to tune in for next week's show. And then 2 weeks after that, we got NASA coming on the show. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, Nehemiah Squad. Let's go. Yeah. All right. So with that, we're going to say shalom, y'all. Lord's will, y'all enjoyed the show. All right. Captain Shemp, Officer Shemp. Judah taking us out?
Take us out.
All right.
I'm going to do it. All right. Give me what I want, man.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 21.
All right.
Then I testified against them and said unto them, why lord ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you.
Yeah, if you do this again, we got to lay hands on you. Right. If you keep trusting in Babylon, we got to lay hands on you.
Right.
Personal space. You keep invading it with envelopes and sandwiches and all that, we got to lay hands on you. Hey, this is the Nehemiah Squad. We got Officer Shem, Captain Zaccai. I'm Officer Judah. Shalom.
Most High Christ bless y'all. Shalom.
Away from the heathen, I need a break. I don't need a reason. I need a script. I don't need your grievance. Keep it to yourself. It's better for my health. Leave it on the shelf. There ain't nothing else. Night after night, knowing the price. Pay it off with my life. Till it's out with your lights. Do it all for the Christ. And he ain't playing nice. Knew the end from the start. Fix your face like it's art. The sons of a simp, call them Bart. Yeah, you did your best, played your part. But now it's time to cut you to the heart. Flex on occasion. It's the strangest of the salvation. You see it, believe it, amazing. Them terrorists coming invasion since the creation. War, mine, Lord, bless the general. Greatest nation, eat them unequivocal. Bombs dropping, buddy, cause it's biblical. Start shit, now it's time to finish. Whoa. Said he won't vote, he looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
I can't wait for our kingdom to start and for there to be finished. Get rid of all of their idols and lying religions. Look for the crown like an Edris. Hey, this that crown talk. Wisdom of Solomon 5 talk. This that second Edris 6 and 9. We want eyes talk. It's your time to end and my time begin. It's our time to win. Away with the sin. You know what it is. Rejoice with my kin. See that is why we repented. Go to streets, I can see myself in it. The city is bright, the kingdom of light. A wonderful sight past the angels, the inner light. I need 1,000 years of labor. Sit on my throne with my savior. Try to know wine, press alone. He bring pain like major. You think the nations is equal to us? TK Kirkland, who raised you? Vex on occasion, my God a racist. That's why we moving with patience. It's been a long time coming. I spent my whole life running. Now that I'm 10 toes down and established my faith on 100. Woe to the nations, my king will race them. You know they gotta be punished. Jeremiah 25. Yeah, you know they gon' fry. Whoa.
Said he won't vote, he looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world